Buckle up, it's the Junk Monk Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Junk Monk Podcast. I'm your host Kandyce Sloan, who you know from Instagram at Hardens and Hard Hats.
And I'm Noah, your co-host, who you know from Right Now.
If this is your first time listening, let us fill you in. We are picking up where the Drunk Monk Podcast left off, hosted by Keiko Agena and Will S. Choi. I was a big fan of their podcast and was really sad to see that they stopped their show, so I decided to pick it up and I managed to find me a co-host.
Okay, Will and Keiko did their show a little drunk, and so we're going to do our show with a little junk. So I've got my junk food here, which isn't really junk food. It's sushi that I will be sharing with Kandyce today.
Crunchy, roll, spicy.
Yeah, you got water. I got the milk.
Oh, yeah, good move.
Yeah.
Also, you must know I have seen every episode of Monk. I'm a huge fan. Started watching in about 2007 and for the most part watched it as it aired.
I've seen the pilot episode and those we've done on the show, and a few scattered here and there in different seasons.
So, if you're ready to start the show, Toby, take it away.
Here's what happened.
Okay, so this is Mr. Monk Gets Jury Duty, Season 4, Episode 16.
Season finale, Kandyce.
Yes.
So
here's what happened. In the opening scene, we see the captain and Disher on hot pursuit of infamous drug lord Miguel Escobar. After their on-foot chase, they manage to apprehend him, and Stottlemyre is very pleased with his catch. But it's short-lived when the FBI demands that he hand over the most wanted fugitive. Meanwhile, we also see Monk, who has been summoned for jury duty, and with his luck, he's selected. Monk must work with his fellow jurors to solve a murder case. It turns out the man they all originally thought was guilty is innocent, but that's only where the drama begins. So one of the jurors actually murders an old woman to secure her spot on Monk's jury. But why? Well, she wanted access to the courthouse, where her fiancé was awaiting transfer to the FBI. You guessed it, Miguel Escobar. Once the other 11 jurors figure her out, she pulls a gun and ties them up. Then she meets Escobar, takes out the agents, and they head to the roof. Natalie, noticing some uneven blinds in the jury room, knows something's wrong and rushes to save Monk. Then they call Randy, and they're able to cut them off at the laundry chute. Some people will just do anything to get out of jury duty.
Quote Randy.
Quote Randy.
Kandyce, what did you like about this episode?
Well, a lot.
My likes list pours on over to my dislikes list.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Okay, why don't you go first then?
Okay. Stottlemyre and Randy get their very own chase scene.
They do.
Right off the bat, I love that. The way that these two characters that we've known the whole season, and they're more of like office jobs. Not office jobs, but like never really in the field. As much as like action.
You haven't seen the one called The Sleeping Suspect, where this is in season 2 though, so I'm sure they've had a chase since then. But Randy at the very beginning, they're about to go on a chase, and Randy says, "If I'm going to be honest, sir, I've been waiting my whole career for this." And he's like, "All right." So they get in the car, and they're like, "We're in hot pursuit," and they turn on the car, and then they start to drive away, and the suspect that they're chasing like T-bones a truck, and so he crashes, and so they stop. And Randy's like, "Oh." And Stottlemyre's like, "So how was it?"
Aww.
So I had another layer of complete and utter excitement for Randy getting to actually be on a chase. So it was really good.
That was like amazing scene just to start off with. And Stottlemyre takes down Escobar.
Yeah.
Gunpoint. Well, it was kind of the lady who was being held to gunpoint. She elbows him, and Stottlemyre takes the gun.
Yeah.
Random lady to save the day.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so mine is going to begin where Monk thinks he's being drafted. Because Natalie comes into his apartment and is like, "Oh, I have some bad news, but it's okay. You don't have to report for weeks. Don't worry." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, they've reinstated the draft. I've been drafted. I'm going to have to shower with naked people." Good old Monk, man. That's a great line.
I also have that, so I'll just cross that out. But everything else from now is going to be quotes, but here we go. He's talking about the man who created Tupperware, and he's like, "Man, I love Tupperware so much," because I guess Tupperware was new whenever this aired.
I doubt it. I doubt it was new.
From like the 90s.
I actually don't. I would think I want to say that they've been having Tupperware parties since like the 50s.
Oh.
But I could be totally wrong. I'm just guessing.
Well, he's talking about the Tupperware, the man who made Tupperware, and he's like, man, you know I don't like to shake hands, but I would shake his hands because they're probably perfectly clean.
Natalie says, I think he's probably dead. And he's like, it's okay, he's probably perfectly preserved.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, oh, it's basically airtight.
Okay, so I have a kind of an umbrella thing. Everything about Monk being on jury duty is epic.
Yeah.
The first thing, he's trying to get out of it, and the judge is asking him, what's wrong with you? Why do you need to get out of it? He says a little bit of quirks, but then he talks about the 2 plants that he has to take care of at home. And he's like, can't your assistant take care of those plants? And he's like, here's the thing, Your Honor, she tends to overwater.
And Natalie goes, I do not.
I did that once.
She goes, that is not true.
It's like, I know, but overwatering to a fern, that's like a swimming pool. Oh my gosh, Monk and his ferns. Do you have anything else about, let me see. Oh, then my other thing about him being on jury duty is when he tells on the girl when her cell phone rings.
Oh yeah.
It's like, whose phone is that? It's juror number 3. And juror number 8, yeah, she was sleeping. And then he says, the judge says, Mr. Monk, nobody likes a tattletale. And he says, okay, I think juror number 6 is a tattletale.
I can't remember who said... Monk said this. But I don't know what was the context. But he said, I'd rather be sucked out of an airplane. And I think it was what he was talking about jury duty.
I'd rather be sucked out of an airplane window. That was so good. And we've seen him on an airplane. So...
Wait, we have?
And Mr. Monk on an airplane.
Intense?
That was actually the season finale of season 1. That was my top-rated episode.
Was he like super scared the whole time?
He was, just twitchy, nervous. They were trying to distract him and stuff. Yeah. But he solves the murder on the plane. So, spoiler alert.
Wow.
Okay, you have anything? Oh, yeah, you just went, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll go again.
Okay.
Because I have a really good one. Okay, Captain Stottlemyre is being interviewed while he's taking away Pablo Escobar. And a lady says, will you not let Pablo Escobar escape? And he says, of course not. She says, that's what you said last time. And he replies with, I wasn't in charge then. And I was like, boom, power move, boom, Captain Stottlemyre, boom.
Yep.
Man in charge.
I don't think it's the same scene, but I have intuitive Randy. So when Escobar is being held, I want to say Randy is standing next to him. And then he asks him to scratch his nose for him because it's in handcuffs. And then he says, it's okay, I'll be scratching my own nose soon enough. And then Randy's like, yeah, sir, he just said he was going to scratch his nose. And he's like, okay. And he's like, yeah, but it sounded like a threat. It's like, I thought that was funny. But my little tidbit off of that was Noah actually noticed in the opening scene because the guy says, oh, tell my fiance and tell her I'll be there for our wedding.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, there you go. He's telling you right there he's going to escape.
Yeah, that's in my dislikes. I'm like, Escobar is too suspicious right off the bat.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, Noah got it. But then I said intuitive Randy because he saw Escobar, what he was saying as a threat also.
Yeah.
He was flat out telling him, and Stottlemyre ignored it. So, that's a plus for Randy.
That is a plus for Randy.
Another good cop moment. I mean, he made it sound like a threat. He did, though. So
he really did. I think it was Randy who says, we were co-captains. Oh, Monk, when he's talking about the juror who's like, oh, I've done this before, I'll be leader or whatever, let's vote.
Monk, yeah.
And at the very end, Monk's like, he's explaining to Natalie, it was so much fun. He was kind of the captain, but we were co-captains.
Yeah, the foreman, yeah. Okay, I have when Monk and Natalie are screaming at each other out the window.
That is so good.
That is so good.
How did I not have anything for that?
He discovers, because he's Monk, he's working on a murder case, and he discovers a murder outside. He discovers a dead body in the dumpster, or, he thinks there's a dead body in the dumpster, so he's trying to tell Natalie, and he's like, oh, hey, Natalie, and he's yelling at her from the top, and he says, there's a body in the dumpster. And she's like, you want a hot toddy and mustard? I brought Cobb salad. And he's like, no, there's a body in the dumpster. And she's like, I just brought the Cobb salad. And then she figures it out. Oh, there's a body. Got it. Okay. And then cut to later, whenever she's like, oh, no, sorry, I missed one. Whenever he says, call Captain Stottlemyre.
Oh, yeah.
And he puts his fingers over his mouth like a mustache.
A little Captain Stottlemyre mustache.
That was really cute.
She's like, oh, there's a body in the dumpster.
And then cut to whenever they discovered the body, and Monk is like, who is it? And Natalie's like, no ID. And he's like, no idea?
No ID.
No idea?
No ID.
No idea.
No ID, Mr. Monk. No ID.
Did you check her identification? And then Natalie's like, no, and waving her arms. And then she gets Randy.
She gets Randy.
She makes him into an eye. And then she holds onto his arms, which we're doing it for you now. And she holds onto his arms and then stretches out to make a D. And then she says, D.
Which she could have just said identification.
I know, I saw it. That was a plot hole.
He says identification, so she could have said identification.
But it makes so much more funny. And then so she's like that, and then he's like, no idea. Oh my gosh, that is too freaking much. Oh my gosh. Okay, go, because I can't with this one.
Okay, this one is also so funny. So I guess he's an immigrant, and he's on the jury.
Oh, yep.
And he's talking about what's good and what's bad for America, and he's like, I love America, and it's super funny, right? And Monk, before we was saying, oh, we're co-captains, right? While he's talking to Natalie in that same conversation, the guy walks by, and he says, you should listen to him more. This man is great for America.
That's cute.
So funny.
He goes back and forth on Monk. He's like, I take it back. This man is terrible for America. But then at the end, he comes around.
So funny.
Okay, mine is that same conversation. And then at the end, well, I don't like this part with the mean guy. But
yeah.
But Monk says, all right, a year from now, Benihana's making it happen. And he's like, that's never going to happen. I don't like that part, but I like how Monk is excited to go to Benihana's.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's so cute.
And although Natalie plays such a small part in it, the plot is essential to Natalie. So I really like how Natalie saves the day. And, someone else could have walked by there, but no, Natalie walked by there and she saved the day.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
I like it.
My overarching theme was, it was like a modern day 12 Angry Men. Have you ever heard of that movie?
Nope.
Okay, so we watched this in criminal law in college, and I know a lot of people are going to know, it's a really, really classic movie, but it's basically exactly what happens, where they go into a jury room and one person says that the person is innocent while everybody else says it's guilty, and then they spend hours and days and stuff where everybody's like, it's tired, wants to go home, is missing a baseball game, missing their kids and all this stuff, but they all end up in the end coming around to saying that he is innocent. So this was, I'm almost 1,000% sure this is a nod to 12 Angry Men, but as it relates to Monk, I love to see Monk going against everyone and then convincing
Proving
them.
it right.
And Monk was forced to have partners, like they said. Like, you let us in your head. What are you thinking? We're partners. But, man, he sure does not need other people
partners,
helping him out. Except for Natalie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because Natalie saves the day, baby. Is that all?
Yep.
What did you dislike, Kandyce?
Okay. Natalie's throw. Terrible.
It's so bad.
Okay. She's trying to help him out. She's trying to be a good assistant. She's trying to give him a wipe while he's on the jury. But she's not supposed to. She gets yelled at. And then so Monk's like, yeah, throw it. Just throw it over the top. And then so Natalie just chunks it.
Natalie can't throw? ?
Yeah. What the heck was that?
You said two of mine. Or you mentioned the
okay,
Escobar is too suspicious scene, and you just said Natalie can't throw. So I only have one.
I only have one more, so that's perfect.
The mean guy.
Oh, yeah. He sucks.
He sucks. Like, everything about him, every scene with him, he ruins every scene. Not ruins, but it's just like, he just makes you not happy.
Yeah. I felt like everybody else was mean enough to Monk that we didn't need someone being
Extra
overtly mean to him like that.
Yeah. Like, just, that's so impolite to smoke with a guest in the room.
While
like,
you're sleeping.
Exactly.
Like, you need a cigarette that bad that you have to do it while you're sleeping. Like, that's messed up.
Yeah, while you're sleeping.
Okay. My only other thing is Monk saying, I don't know, whenever he writes not guilty, they all submit guilty. And then instead of him having a decent reason,
He goes, I don't
they're
really
like,
know.
why do you think? He's like, I don't know.
That's not Monk.
Yeah, that's not, I've heard him say, I don't know before.
Like, he just has a hunch.
He has a hunch, but in that instance, I feel like he didn't even have a hunch, if that makes sense. Like, it wasn't, I guess it was still a hunch. Something felt wrong to him, but he didn't even illustrate it as something felt wrong to him. He more have said, I don't think we should come back with a verdict this quickly. He didn't say he actually had a hunch. He literally said, I don't know. And if you don't know Mr. Monk, you don't know that a hunch means, oh, he's probably right. They're just like, you're psycho. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. That's it for what I didn't like.
Oh, so that means we can go into He's the Guy.
Okay, so do you have anyone for He's the Guy?
I thought I did, and it was the FBI agent who was speaking for the Attorney General.
The mean one?
Yeah, but I think he's from Diary of a Future President. Remember that show that we watched? Mm-hmm. Right? Like the very beginning, right? He's like the stepdad on that show, I think. Or he looks a lot.
Well, how about this? We look it up. If you're right, we'll leave this in the show. If you're wrong, we'll take it out.
That's good. That's a good idea. Wait, no. Okay, yeah. Do it.
Okay, so
Did you have anyone?
I had 3. Not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I didn't know. It's funny because I didn't know where any of them were from. I didn't even think about where do I know them from? I was like, nope, they're too off character. I have no clue where they're from.
But you just
I recognized them, and then I started thinking, wow, I have too many people. Maybe I recognize them from this episode. And I got kind of nervous, and then I looked it up, and I was like, nope, I know all these people. Okay, so the first one.
Wait. Don't ask me any questions because I'm going to be eating.
Okay. So the first one is Emmanuelle Veguier, which is the girl that plays the fiance. Mm-hmm. I know her from, she has a lot of credits. She actually has been on a lot of shows as a reoccurring character. Lost Girl, Smallville, 2.5 Men, CSI New York, and then she has a ton of other credits. But I knew her. I was like, yes, that's it. She is Nikki from One Tree Hill, who is Jake's girlfriend, his baby mama, and she's creepy. I knew it was her. Got it. Okay, my second one.
Okay.
Plays Escobar. His name is Carlos Gomez. He also is in a few regular shows. The Glades, Madam Secretary, but OMG, and I can't believe I didn't recognize him. Actually, I kind of did, but long story short. He is Julio from Friends. Monica's, fling from, one night where, because they were co-workers at the diner, and he writes this poem about her, how she's an empty vase.
Oh, I remember that.
You do? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Where she's an empty vase, and then she's like, oh my gosh, isn't it so romantic? And they're like, he's calling you dim-witted. And then he admits, yeah, all American women are like that.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Okay, and then the last person is the jury foreman. Mm-hmm. Benito Martinez is his real name. He is on tons of stuff that I knew, tons and tons, but the biggest reoccurring role he had was the Supernatural, but I knew him from How to Get Away with Murder. He played the assistant district attorney, Todd Denver, for quite some time. At least a season or 2 seasons or something. Wow. So, yep, that's my 3. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, I like that.
Knocked him out.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Junk time. Our favorite time of the show.
Where we get to try the sushi.
Can we hit it again? That's what I like to hear.
I'm going to try this. It looks like it's got some crab and avocado.
It's very spicy. So, Kandyce, I'm going to ask you a question today. Since I'm too young to be on jury duty, have you ever served jury duty?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did. But I don't know if you would technically count it as serving on a jury. I got the summons. I went to the courthouse, 9 a.m. There was a bunch of people there. We went in. It was actually for, on the docket, there were 2 juvenile cases for the day. So we went in, signed up, waited around for, I guess, I don't know who to show up. The announcer people. That's technical. They came in. We went into a room. They came in and said, okay, so we had 2 juvenile cases for the day. Both of them made plea bargains, so you are dismissed. Go out there and sign the paper. You can either take $7 or you can donate the $7 to Texas, I guess. I don't know. Justice. I don't know. I didn't donate it. I took it. So I don't know where everybody else's money went. But mine went into my pocket. I had coffee and I was like, yeah, they paid me $7 to basically wake up early this morning, so I'm going to do it. So, yeah, that was my jury duty. It was a juvenile case. I got $7.
Dang.
Yep, that was it.
Making bank.
So, let me ask you,
Hit me with
would you ever want to be on a jury?
I found that, super fascinating, that whole episode. And also, wouldn't it be cool to be on one of those giant cases, like the O.J. Simpson,
yeah,
right?
Michael Jackson.
No.
Jodi Arias.
What's his face? From the O.J. Simpson thing. Celebrity Big Brother.
Kato Kaelin.
Kato Kaelin.
Yeah. Kato Kaelin.
Yes, I would love to be
Kato Kaelin.
Oh my gosh.
I could be the Tom Green to your Kato Kaelin. That would be awesome.
Oh my gosh.
For all you Big Brother fans.
No one watches Big Brother. No. Yeah, people watch Big Brother.
No, you watch it. You watch it.
You better watch it.
You better watch it.
Celebrity Big Brother.
After you listen to the rest of this, though. Sweet. So, do you think you'd be good at it? I know you're not the best.
Okay, Kandyce.
With decisions.
I'd be Monk.
No,
yeah.
you'd be the fiance. Where she goes,
looking over.
No, she goes opposite of everyone else.
Oh.
She changes it. You're like, well, I think I'm gonna go not guilty, and they're like, okay, we'll go not guilty. She's like, well, I just need some time to think. That's Noah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of case would you want to be on?
Juvenile's lame. Actually,
Juvenile's tough.
Because you're like, oh, it's a kid.
Yeah. I think I feel like it'd be harder to be tough on crime.
I don't think they let...
It's a little kid, or,
My teacher told me that they don't like letting Catholics do jury duty because they're like, they won't be hard enough or whatever. Right, that's a thing. They're like, because my teacher, she's 60, and she's never had jury duty because they always don't let her do it. Yeah.
Might be something to do with possibly they won't seek the death penalty.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's probably it. I'd want to do a death penalty case. I think I could do it.
Because you feel like...
I would be... I know I would feel the weight of it once I was there, but if you didn't know this, I have a minor in criminal justice. So my major was behavior, but my minor's in criminal justice. So I did take a lot of criminal law classes and stuff like that. And I feel like I would be, as decisive as one could be in that situation. Did they create reasonable doubt? Guilty, not guilty, and then the sentencing. I think I could do it.
That's so cool.
That'd be exciting. Oh, okay, so I have something super random.
Okay.
Do you remember whenever I asked you a few weeks ago, what would you do with $1 million?
Yes.
And you said you would buy some land in Wisconsin?
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, well,
Wisconsin.
I was reading Facebook in the monk groups, right? And I saw this article that was talking about how Tony Shalhoub is a Green Bay Packers fan, which is Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I was like, what? And I clicked on it, and he grew up in Wisconsin.
Oh my
And I was like, how did Noah know that? And I was like,
I predicted it.
He touched no way he knew that.
What?
Is that not crazy?
Any more questions? Kandyce.
No. Just snacking on some sushi.
No.
Yeah, drunk time's over. I know. Let me take my final bite.
No social media update.
Oh, we picked our first ever
Oh, we
giveaway
did. I did because I am the best. And our winner was at Susie Lou, 28.
That is correct.
So give her a follow, give us a follow, give everyone a follow, will ya?
Yeah, so that was for a $25 Amazon gift card, but we also have monthly giveaways going on.
So you can win one, and it is so cool. We're working on the t-shirt designs.
Yeah, we're going to make t-shirts.
We're making t-shirts. Randy Disher project, baby.
But yeah, we're going to have t-shirts sometime in the near future, but we are going to do like a monk package. It's going to have DVD, a book, some, monk gear, some surprises, people. We'll just let you be surprised. But it has monk stuff in it and non-monk stuff, so.
You can guarantee me and Kandyce's favorite snacks in there.
Ooh, this is true.
So, we'll surprise you on which our favorite snacks is, because I think you asked us on the show before, what is my favorite snack? And I didn't answer it.
You didn't answer.
But I do have my answer because I had some time to think about it off camera. And let me tell you, it is a wild card.
Okay. It's going to go in the box, though.
It's going in the box.
Okay, cool.
So, enter on Instagram.
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook.
Yeah.
At Junk Book Podcast.
Yep.
That's
it.
So, hit us up.
All right, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready for the next segment. Ready?
You're ready? You're ready? Plot holes! Welcome to Plot Holes, everybody, where we state our plot holes. Candace? It's kind of self-explanatory, but...
First things first. Can you try on evidence? The guy put the pants on. The bloody pants.
I was thinking that, Candace.
I thought that was very strange, but I don't know. Like, I feel like they might be able to take the evidence out of the bags and examine it. I don't know that they'd be allowed to put it on. But then it's like, again, I guess if they're letting you touch it and put your fingerprints on it, but I don't see that happening. I really don't see, like, what if there's like a speck of DNA that they missed or something that they need to retest, and it's like, it's got some random juror number 2's
butt on.
That's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say booty on it. So, yeah, that's my question. Okay, another one. Can Monk not claim... There's a lot of things you can do to get out of jury duty. Could he not claim, like, disability or something to get out of jury duty?
Yeah, so I'm crazy. Like, very, very crazy.
I mean, because, like, OCD and, like, anxiety disorders, those are disabilities. Like,
because they usually explain it pretty well in other episodes, like traumatic...
yeah, he has PTSD, or he has... What does he have?
Like a traumatic disorder that makes him, like, buzz out or whatever, right?
Yeah. Psychological discharge.
Psychological
discharge from...
So why would they just let him...
That's a good plot hole. That was good. That was a good catch there, Noah. I like that. Do you have any plot holes?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay. So my last one...
How dare you?
So my last one is... Okay. I'm going to act like I'm a super expert on this, right? Because I learned this stuff, half of it at criminal law school, right?
Yes.
That's fake. But half of it, my criminal justice degree. Half of it I learned at the state fair, okay, people? They've got like exhibits where they talk about police dogs and stuff like that. So from my understanding, dogs who are trained to do certain things, they're trained to do those certain things. So you will not have a bomb-sniffing dog searching for drugs. You won't have a drug-sniffing dog searching for dead bodies. Those are cadaver dogs. So, so you got that. Also, if a dog barks, if one of those dogs barks, that means that there is that thing that they are trained for right there. Mm-hmm. So if you notice, this police officer is walking his dog next to the dumpster. That dog signals there's something in there.
And it just let...
If he signaled, that means that dog was most likely, I mean, again, 99% sure, that dog would be a cadaver dog because it would have smelt a cadaver in the dumpster.
Yeah.
So that police officer would have been like, whoa, my dog is barking at a body. Mm-hmm. Instead, he was like, come on, and like pulling it like it wasn't trained. It was a police dog.
Yeah. Those are like some cool dogs, you know?
Does that make sense?
That makes 100% sense.
So Monk, yeah, obviously he was intuitive by saying, oh, that dog was sniffing around. But the dog wasn't just sniffing around, it was barking at the dumpster.
Yeah.
So that dog was signaling that there was a body in there. That police officer should have known that.
That's funny that you're with your state fair education.
Got him.
Got him. You've been plot holed.
I like that. You've been plot holed.
You've been plot holed.
And then you've been debunked.
Debunked.
Okay, so that's it. We're already on our last 2 segments. When I always flip that last page, it's so sad.
Oh. How crazy was Monk this episode? Candace.
Okay.
Candace.
Noah is ready to tell us out of 10 what. I can feel it.
I am so freaking ready.
Okay. If you like yours that much, do you want me to go first? So that you can follow me up.
Moments.
No, we usually say out of 10 what. We debate it, and then we're like, oh, okay, out of 10 this.
Out of 10, OG 80-year-old Juror 8 orthopedic shoes. That's right.
Okay, I put out of 10 overwatered Natalie ferns.
Dang it, that's good. That is really good.
I like that one. You thought I was going to do Cobb salad.
I did.
I thought about it and I was like, what else better? And I thought of the overwatered Natalie ferns. Like a swimming pool, Natalie. Come on.
That is so good.
All right, I think I've won because Noah's been debunked. I'm just kidding. That doesn't make any sense.
That. Against her. Gosh, my mind is blown. I thought mine was going to be the best things I've ever seen.
Okay, well, do you want to go do a crazy moment?
Yeah.
Do you have any at all?
So it's out of 10 Natalie ferns, and here are the crazy moments. Crazy moment number 1. He could have saved everyone, and he chose to fix the blinds.
Yep, I have that part, and then he fixes the blinds at the beginning, and the lady catches him.
Oh, yeah.
And says, what are you doing? Which I thought that lady was pretty nosy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if I saw uneven blinds like that, I would fix them. He was tilting them, like backwards and forwards. I would have done that.
Yeah.
Also, I have all the things that he does to get out of jury duty, which he says he can't use the same bathroom as anyone.
Oh, yeah.
And then he also can't eat food unless he sees it being prepared.
And Natalie, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's very persnickety. And then the fact that he claims plants as dependents.
Yes.
He can't do it.
He tries to, which this has some, reasoning behind it. I understand. But still, after being told, obviously, I'm sleeping with this in my mouth, you're not going to take it away. That'd be weird. Monk tries to take the cigarette away from the mean guy's mouth, which I know, mean guy, cigarette bad, but, still.
I'll add another crazy moment. He didn't sleep in that bed. He didn't sleep at all. And then he was fully dressed. He didn't sleep in the hotel room. So he was sleep deprived that next day.
Okay,
it's pretty crazy that he'll stand up instead of sitting or laying anywhere in a hotel room.
Yeah. I remember what this is supposed to say. It says, doesn't vote for people, ? Which also has definitely a lot of reasoning behind it, because now that I think about it, it's like Monk doesn't vote with the people, or if Monk did vote with the people, he'd have it on his shoulders, and good Monk crazy about it. So now I'm like, oh wait, that makes no sense, because Monk is Monk, and Monk's gotta do what a Monk's gotta do.
Yep, it's true. My last one is that he tattles on everyone about the phone and the sleeping.
And the sleeping.
And the tattletelling.
Yeah.
So that's it. So, out of 10 overwatered Natalie ferns, how crazy was Monk this episode?
No, Candace. How crazy was Monk this episode? Because I forgot to write a number.
Okay, I'm going to go with 5.5. Okay, because I don't think he was too crazy. We didn't have a lot of, moments. But when he's forced to be with other people, you see how they react, and then you realize, yeah, he's crazy to other people, you know. Because I always rate it, like, relative to Monk himself. But when you see him with other people, it's relative to other people. So,
yeah.
He didn't have very many things, but he gets extra points for, yeah, you're kind of cray-cray to other people.
Okay, 5.5, I like that. I'm going to go a little higher and saying 6.
So you got a 6?
A 6, yep.
All right, got me a 5.5, and our last segment.
Rate this episode. Or Kandyce. Well, I would say, how would you rate this episode? But I'm just so excited to share my rating. So sorry. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it, Kandyce. A 10 out of 10. A perfect. And the crowd goes wild. So,
wow.
10 out of 10, golden episode for Noah. Best episode I have ever seen of Monk.
Nice.
So far.
Well, that's awesome. That was the season finale.
So
of
good.
Season 4. And you've only seen a handful of episodes, really. We've been doing this for quite a while, but you've only seen a handful, and this one marks really high. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
It's really, really good.
All right, so I am going to rate this episode a 10 point, no Monk episode deserves lower than a 10. Perfect is 2 10s. So here we go. My rating is 10.925.
Really?
Yes.
So a 9.25 out of 10. So what made you rate it a 9.25 or 9 and a quarter?
Well, thought it was another great episode for the top of the pack. I'm really excited to go back and rate these episodes, like rank them, for our recap. Super excited about that. So another great episode for the top of the pack. I can feel it already. It gets you right from the start with all the action. It's so good. It has 2 great storylines with the drug lord and the jury duty, and brings them together in such a clever way.
Yep.
This episode is so good.
Which I kind of saw coming.
Well, but it's even if you see it coming, it still brings it together. Yeah. The fact that he sees a dead body while he's trying a murder case, and he's solving another murder outside his window. And those 2 things are connected with Stottlemyre and Randy's very big success of catching Escobar, transferring them off, which isn't their fault. The FBI is the one that lost them. And it twines all of that together and then puts it in a little package deal at the end when they pop out of the chute. And they're like, bam, you're supposed to be upstairs. Bam.
Yeah.
It's good.
Was this the best finale ever?
So far, we've had Mr. Monk in the airplane, Mr. Monk goes to jail, and then season 3. I haven't done the season 3 recap yet, so I can't remember it, honestly. But I mean, I would say it's better than both of those. I do love Mr. Monk in the airplane though, but I would say so far, I don't remember season 3 like I said, but so far it's pretty good. But we'll talk about that next time. We have not done episodes 1 through 5 of season 4, so I think next time you hear us, we will catch you up on those episodes, on our thoughts of that, and then the next week we'll do the season 4 recap, so that way we can get an entirety of season 4 and rank our episodes in that way, so we're not leaving anything out. So, because I think Noah needs to see those to make his, entire. There's some good ones. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, there's some good ones. So,
really?
Yeah. Don't want to hype it, but I'm excited.
Okay.
At least for one of them is very good. So.
Well, I just remember what I was going to say, but I didn't say it. You said it brings it together so greatly, like the interconnecting storylines, and I was like, oh, I guess that. It was kind of predictable. But I saw it from a mile away, because I remember thinking it pans over to Monk at the beginning, right? Whenever he goes into the courtroom, it starts on this one lady, and who's checking in her coffee in her purse, and she walks through, and then they give her back to her because that's how machines.
Conveyor belt thing.
Yeah. Right, that's how they work. So, I was like, that was so weird. And I knew, like, they do that. They do that just so you can be like, whenever you rewatch it, or if you decide to rewatch it, you're like,
there we go. There she is. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I knew from the start, I was like, that's odd. That's not okay.
Yeah, and then when she pops up, whenever they show she's evil. Oh, you know what? That was something I didn't like. I don't want to end on a downer, but that was something I didn't like was they showed that scene with her in the hotel room where, you know, she was sneaky.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that.
They honestly did not.
They could have left it all the way to the end where she's switching her vote back and forth and she goes to the restroom. Monk could have figured it out then.
So it was
and we didn't have to know it as the audience before then.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
It was a shock to all of us.
Yeah.
Really.
But it wasn't, so that's all right.
Yeah.
It was still great. It was still amazing.
Amazing episode once again.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. I don't know how we're going to be at a perfect score from Noah, but we'll see you next time for episodes 401 through 405.
Enter the February contest because it's going to be
Well, actually,
awesome.
It'll be March. So enter the March one. You'll hear this in March.
Enter the March one.
Enter the March one.
Everyone was like, February? That was like 3 weeks ago.
That's true.
So, enter the March because t-shirts are going to be awesome and we're not going to sell merch. We're just going to do this giveaway, or we might sell merch. But that's in the far, far future. But we're giving away shirts maybe, plural, with a bunch of other goodies. So if you want to enter, at Junk Monk Podcast.
And you'll hear all of that information.
Yes.
Right? Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Junk Monk Podcast. We'd love to hear from you, so please rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, follow us at Junk Monk Podcast on Instagram.
If you want to know more about Kandyce, she's at Hearteds and Hardhats on Instagram. And if you want to know more about me, Noah L, too bad. Also, you can catch up on Monk with Amazon Prime Video.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast.
You'll thank me later.